And likewise, say thank you very much for all your work and all your dedication. All right, now sit on a blanket or your chair. If you sit on the chair, move to the first quarter, right on the edge of the chair, so that gives you a little bit more ability to move your hips, so you can sit tall. And then just take a couple of breaths through the nose and out through the nose. Very natural. Feel the hips and the legs getting maybe a little heavy. Feel the shoulders getting heavy, sinking down. Elbows loose. Maybe you want to close your eyes. If you know the alternative nostril breath, go ahead, close your eyes now. And then just use your right thumb and the right pinky finger or fourth or fifth finger of your right hand. And then close your right nostril and take a deep breath in through the left nostril. Close that left nostril and exhale out through the right. Inhale through the right. Close it, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close it, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close it, exhale through the left. Keep going in your own time. And then slowly rest the hands on your knees and return to your natural breathing. Find length in your spine. And slowly lower the chin towards the chest. Feel a stretch in the back of your neck. Open your eyes and slowly lift your head. Take your time. Bring your hands to the side of your body and lift your arms. Hands touch. Exhale out. Hands lower back down to the floor. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift your arms, hands touch, and then open them into a V shape. And then maybe lift the shoulders so that you become a little taller and you stretch the side body, and then feel the weight of your arms pushing the shoulders away from the ears, down. The shoulder blades are going down. Spread your fingers wide. Find a length in the spine again. If you feel the chin moving forward, bring it back. Lengthen the back of the neck. And let that weight of the arms pushing you down. If you feel like you're overarching that lower back, scoop the abs in and up. And find that long spine. Sometimes when we want to do this extra good, right, we're going to arch and we overdo it a little bit. So soften the rib cage and soften that lower back. Keep the arms all the way up there. I know they become heavy now. And then bend your elbows, spread your fingers away, spread your fingers wide. And now gently, again, don't overdo it, squeeze the shoulder blades together. So move back a little bit. And again, we're going to open up the chest here, so that makes us, coming a little bit into that arching lower back. So come back out of that overarching. And then stretch your arms wide, fingers spread. Now again, use the arms and squeeze the shoulder blades together a little bit. So now the range of motion is bigger, so you can bring the arms back a little further if you like. Shoulder blades squeeze together. I know they become heavy now, right? So now bend your elbows and we come into this L shape. And what I want you to do is now imagine you're holding like an elastic band and you're pulling it back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're going into an external rotation in the shoulder. Again, watch the lower back and the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and then slowly relax the hands. Roll the shoulder blades back. You can still do that on the chair if you're on the chair. The next one as well. So if you have a block, the block is right now a very good option. The book, you can try it with the book, but even if you don't have a block and you don't want to use the book right now, you can imagine that you have a block in between your hands. And if you imagine that and press into that invisible book, the muscles that I want to activate a little bit or a lot are still working with that imagination. You know exactly, you can feel it in your shoulders. So if you have that block, take the block, long fingers, right? And then bend your elbows or soften your elbows, drop the shoulders down and press both hands into that block. We did that the last time with two blocks. Press in and feel the muscles around your shoulder working right now. So stretch the arms away. I'm going to go into the side so you can see it a little bit better. Long neck. And then as if you want to give this block, the real block or the invisible block, to somebody else. And you're reaching towards that person. So your shoulder blades are moving away from each other. Still have your elbows locked or softened, but press into that block. You're afraid you're losing that block. And then relax. Keep the block in your hands. Roll the shoulders back. And then have your elbows bent, 90-degree angle, and press into your block. Again, we're working on those muscles in the shoulder joint. This is now internal rotation. They're all around your shoulder blades. Keep pressing, maybe you feel it in the chest. Breathe, long spine, relax the legs, the jaw, and your forehead. Now we keep that angle in the elbows and we lift. Keep pressing in your block. We keep it up here into 90 degrees, right? Or the elbows at shoulder height. Keep pressing. Long fingers, shoulders are down, long spine. Watch that lower back, scoop those abs in and up. Keep pressing. And slowly lower back down. And then you can put the block to the side. Okay, actually, yeah, keep the block a little bit close. So the same thing we can do with the band. And also, if you don't have a strap, because for this one we would need a strap, we need a closed, like a closed loop. And again, if you don't have that, don't worry about that. You can imagine that. And I promise you, you have the same muscles. Obviously, it's not that intense, but you still activate the muscles and the connection from the brain to the muscles. All right, so we have the strap, make that loop, and we're gonna put the arms. So the band is right in between the elbow and your wrists. And it's a little bit, it's like, if you want to measure it, as wide as your shoulder girdle, from shoulder to shoulder. So same thing, we want to activate those shoulder muscles, and fingers are spread out but softened, and just palms facing each other. Drop your shoulders down if they are up. See where the rest of your body, the spine, the neck, and then press into that strap. Push it out as if you want to break it, right? Pulling out. So if you have no strap, same thing, keep the arms still. Just imagine that strap here and push out. And give it time, be patient. Maybe at the beginning you think like, I don't know. But yes, push out. Imagine somebody is pushing you in, but you push that person out, away from you. And you should feel the muscles tightening up from the shoulder all the way to the fingertips. And then slowly relax the arms, put the strap to the side, and lie down. So if you are on the chair, now is the time to come down onto the mat. Have your block close by, have your strap close by. And do not worry if you don't have the strap or the block. So find a long spine, maybe lift your hips off the mat a little bit and just lengthen that lower back and put the lower back down. Bring the knees into the chest and just start circling the knees one way. And then the other way. And then bring the left foot onto the floor and the right knee into the chest. Hold on behind the right knee and stretch your left leg out. Now, if you don't feel like stretching out the left leg today, keep it bent, but flex that right foot. Either way, if you have the leg stretched out, stretch that left foot as well. Take a deep breath in, exhale out. Lift the head towards the right knee and slowly lower back down. Put your right foot down and lift the left leg. Hold on behind your left knee and flex that left foot. You can keep the right knee bent. You can also stretch that right leg out, flex that right foot. You can stay here. You can also take a deep breath in, and as you exhale out, lift your head towards that left knee. And then slowly lower back down. Bring the feet on to the floor again, bend your knees. And then just have a look at your knees, that they don't flare out too much, that they're kind of parallel. And then just 2 times you come into bridge pose. So first maybe bring your heels a little bit closer, see how your lower back feels when you do that. If that doesn't feel good, then put them back a little further. Then bend your elbows and now palms facing each other. Press your elbows down into the mat. And that lifts the back a little bit and gives you the chance to open up your chest, the pec muscles, by squeezing the shoulder blades gently together. Keep that, relax into the floor again, and then bring your hands right beside the body, palms facing down. Then take a deep breath in. And as you exhale out, tighten those ab muscles, flatten the lower back, lengthen the tailbone, and then lift up into your first bridge. Make that a very easy, small bridge. Just waking up for it. And then roll down bone by bone by bone. Take your time. And then the last thing that comes down is the tailbone. And again, work with the breath. Press down now very actively your feet, your arms, all the way from your shoulder to the fingertips. Take a deep breath in, maybe arch the lower back now. And then with the exhale, flatten the lower back down, lift the tailbone, the hips, the lower back, the middle back. Come onto those shoulders. Maybe you want to wiggle left and right to come really onto the tops of the shoulders, not tops, but you know what I mean, the back of the shoulders, long neck. Relax the forehead and the jaw. Lengthen that spine. Feel how you open up those hip flexors. Breathe. And then start slowly between the shoulder blades, rolling down bone by bone by bone. Take your time. Breathe. And relax here. Now take that block and bring the block in between the legs. So it can be on the knees, it can be a little bit lower on the thighs. Play around and see what feels comfortable right now. And again, if you don't have a block and the book you have is quite heavy and you don't want to use that, that's fine. Don't use that. Sometimes there's other things at home that we could use. You probably don't have that right now, like those round pillows, those neck pillows. Sometimes that works as well, depend on the width. Anyway, bend your elbows, press the elbows down into the mat and lift the shoulders again a little bit. Just align yourself in that perfect bridge again. And then put your arms right down your body. Take a deep breath in, feel how the lower back naturally arches, and then take a deep breath out, engage your abs, and start lifting up into your bridge pose while you're pressing into the block. You don't want to drop the block, so gently press in. Don't press in crazy, just so that the block is not falling down. And if you feel uncomfortable right now, maybe around the sacrum, on the lower back, just forget about the block and take the block out or drop it. Breathe here. And then slowly start again, rolling down bone by bone by bone. Do this one more time. Take a deep breath in and press into the arms. As you lift your hips, engage the abs. Press into the block. Perfect. Stay here. Feel the leg muscles working. And then slowly lower back down, bone by bone by bone. Take your time. Okay. Take that block and put the block to the side. So same thing now. So this is again, also, if you feel like if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. So put the loop that we made over your, or put your feet through it. My English is gone today as well. And you might have to loosen that just a little bit. So you want to have the knees parallel, in line with your hips and with your feet. And again, if you don't have the strap, do not worry, you can do this without a strap. And also, if you press, we're going to press the legs out now. So if you feel as well that it twigs in the lower back or sacrum area, just don't do that. All right, so press down into your feet, press your elbows down, and lift the chest a little. Open up the chest, bring your arms right beside your body. And then again, inhale, arch the lower back. Exhale, tighten up those abs and start lifting up. And I find that a little bit easier to press out, because I think the knees automatically want to go out, right? So press into your strap and feel how strong your leg muscles are and how they support you, right? Long neck. See how the rest of the body feels. Sometimes we tighten up in other areas like the mouth and the forehead. Maybe you can lift a little bit higher. Maybe you want to interlace your fingers underneath your body and open up the chest a little more. And lift up here a little more. And then slowly, with control again, keep pressing out, but gently roll down, bone by bone by bone. And if you tried this now and you could feel it maybe in your knees or somewhere else and it did not feel right, please take the strap off now. If you thought, oh, that felt fantastic, stay with me for one more. So take a deep breath in, arch the lower back, then press the lower back down, lengthen the tailbone, and press your hands down, elbows, shoulders, feet, and start lifting up in that last bridge pose. And breathe here. And slowly roll back down. And then slowly lift the knees and take the strap off. And put it to the side. And come on to hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide, hands right underneath the shoulders. Unlock those elbows, knees underneath your hips. And if you feel like sinking down, lift back up. Actually, let's do that because that's the serratus muscle, and that is a muscle in the shoulders, around the shoulders as well. So let's just sink in and then lift back up. And now, usually I say unlock the elbows, but just lock the elbows for a moment. And then sink in between the shoulder blades and lift all the way up. And just do a couple of, like 2 more. Lower down, lift up, and again lower down and lift up. And then find that place right in between of those two and unlock those elbows. Drop the belly, lift your head for cow pose. Inhale. Exhale, scoop the abs in and up, round the back. Lift your head, drop the belly. Round the back, scoop the abs in and up to help you push away. And do a couple again in your own time. And then find a neutral spine. Tuck your toes under and lift your knees off the floor. Come into downward facing dog. First downward dog. Pedal your legs, walk your dog. Gaze towards your feet, maybe towards the knees. Spread the fingers wide, unlock your elbows, make those muscles work. Feel your shoulders, how they can hold your weight, how strong they are. Same with your legs. They're holding the other half, right, of the body weight. Even that out between the left and the right. Scoop the abs in and up. Find length or height with your sit bones. Lift up high. And then slowly come down onto the knees again. And then from here, we come onto knees, chest, chin. So bend your elbows towards the body. Lower down, knees, chest, chin. And then slide into cobra, baby cobra, onto the belly. Open up the chest like we just did in bridge pose. And then slowly turn the head on one side, lower down. Wiggle those hips a little bit. And then lift the head and the chest with your next inhale again. Lift. Make sure you're not pressing too much in those hands. Make the back work. And then slowly lower the head on the other side. Wiggle the hips again. And then tap your toes under. Press into your hands, into table. And from table into child pose. Then come back into table. Stretch your right toes under, push the heel away. Proud chest. Unlock the elbows, spread your fingers wide. Feel where your chest and your head is. And then keep it like right in the middle and lift your right leg. Scoop the abs in and up. And then bring the weight of the upper body more towards the right hand and lift your left arm. Find length here. Feel the back working to lift up your arm and your leg. And feel the abs helping you to stabilize. And then slowly lower back down. And bring the weight over to the other side. So first left foot, left toes tuck under, push the heel away. Breathe. Lift your left leg and flex that foot, push the heel away, make that leg longer without lifting that left hip up. And then bring the weight into the left hand and lift your right arm. Make yourself much, much longer. Slowly lower hand and knee back down. And then tuck your toes under and come into that plank pose, yoga push-up pose. And then you can lower down from here if that's not too much. If you feel like, oh Mandy, no, not today. Put your knees down and come back down onto the floor, knees, chest, chin first. If you're coming down in that kind of yoga push-up, chaturanga way, then spread the fingers wide and feel those muscles crazy working when you lower down onto the floor. We're not doing that a lot, I promise. So then wiggle those hips again, rest the head on one side, and then with the next inhale, lift back up into cobra. Maybe it's not a baby cobra anymore, maybe it's like more of a king cobra, right? And then slowly lower the head down on the other side. Bend your knees this time and make to move them from the left to the right. And then lower your arms, your legs down, and then bring your hands right beside the body. And you know what's coming, right? With your next inhale, lift your upper body, lift your arms, palms facing each other. And if you like, you can lift your legs. If the legs are a little too much, slowly and gently put them back down. Imagine that band around your forearms and press out into that band. Imagine the same strap around your legs and pressing out, even though you're not moving out. And come a little bit higher. Just when you think you're going to lower down, you lift a little bit higher and then slowly lower back down with control. Wiggle the hips. Breathe. Tuck your toes under. Hands underneath your shoulders. Lift back up into table. And from table into child pose. And then come back into table. Tuck your toes under. We come into downward facing dog. Again, watch those fingers, spread them out wide. And it's like you want to grab the floor with those fingers. So all the muscles are very active. The forearm muscles, shoulder muscles. Again, imagine that band, strap is around your forearms and you're pressing out. Lift all the way up. And pedal the legs for a moment. And then find stillness in a downward dog. All those little muscles active. Look towards your feet. Feel the neck lengthening. Sit bones up high in the sky. Breathe. Maybe you can lift your toes. If you can, lift them up. Spread them out wide. Put them back down. Lift your right leg all the way up. And then bend the knee towards your nose. Scoop those abs in and up. And then lower back down into table. From here, slide your right foot forward. Wiggle forward. You can use your blocks or your hooks. Put them right underneath your shoulders. Make sure the knee does not go over your ankle and lower your hips. Lift the chest. Breathe. And then slowly lean back. Very gentle, right? Flex your front foot. Maybe you have the hands on the floor. Maybe you have them on the blocks. That's perfect. Feel the back of your right leg opening. And if you want to stay here, stay here. Oh yes, I should have said, put maybe a blanket underneath your knees. Come out of the pose if your knee is hurting right now. And then if you like, you can fold over that right leg. So the hip is going to want to escape over to the left. Try to push it back gently. Don't force it. Listen to the body. And then slowly we bend the knee again and lift up in the low lunge. You can put the hands onto the knee, push the knee away. Breathe here. Lift your arms if you like. Let's see if you can lift those arms, or maybe you want to lift those arms in that V shape that we did at the beginning, and let the weight of your arms push the shoulders down. Scoop your abs in and up and see if you can lengthen the tailbone right now and see how that feels in the left hip flexor, the front of your left hip. And then slowly lower back down. We do this one more time. Lean back with the hips, flex that right foot. Stay here. If you feel like, yeah, this is enough, see if you can breathe easily. And if this feels like, yeah, there's room for more, then maybe you want to fold forward. Maybe you don't. Stay where you feel good. And then slowly put the foot back down onto the floor. Walk your hands right beside your foot. Slide the foot back. Tuck your toes under and lift into downward facing dog. Pedal those legs. Lift your left leg all the way up. Reach up high. Flex that foot. Watch the hip and the shoulders. Leave them square or keep them square as much as you can. And then bend your knee and bring the knee in between those arms. Scoop those abs in up and then lower down into table. Again, please, if you feel this is not so good for my knees, take the time and get that blanket or another mat that you can fold up, or fold this mat. Okay, now bring that left foot forward. And then we lower slowly the hips forward. Maybe have your blocks here. Open up the chest. Again, watch knee and ankle. It's not behind. The ankle is not behind. And then slowly move the hips back. Flex that left foot. Toes are moving towards you. And maybe you want to stay here. Maybe this leg feels tighter. Maybe feel closer. Breathe. And if you want, fold forward. Slowly put the foot back down onto the mat. Move the hips forward. Stay with your hands on those blocks. Or put the hands onto your knee. Push the knee away. Maybe you want to lift one arm, maybe both arms. Feel the weight of the arms, pushing the shoulders down. Spread your fingers wide. Engage your abs, lengthen the tailbone. Feel the right hip opening up right now. And slowly lower back down. Move back with those hips. Flex the left foot. And see what it feels here. Maybe with your next exhale, you can soften into that. Stretch a little bit. Maybe you can let the upper body soften forward a little, maybe not. Slowly walk forward. Put the hands right down beside your foot and bring the left leg back. Tuck your toes under and come back up into downward facing dog. Pedal your legs. And then slowly walk forward. Forward, forward. Bend your knees, scoop your abs in and up. Inhale halfway up. Exhale forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale forward. Bend your knees a little more, scoop the abs in and up. Roll up your spine. Into standing, into mountain. Roll the shoulders back. And then take that block again. If you have two blocks, perfect. If you have one block, it's fine too. As I said before, we can do it without any blocks. Just imagine the blocks are there. And then bring the block in between those knees. And then what I straight away want to do is when I feel that block here, I want to lock my knees, try to soften the knees again. And then engage your abs. You know what, let's just focus on the leg first. And from here, we're going to move into chair pose. I'm going to just move a little to the side, but feel that block in legs, squeeze the block. If you don't have that block yet, it's fine. Imagine the block. Maybe put your hands into your hips and sit down in that chair behind you. Long spine. Scoop the abs in and up. Maybe lengthen the tailbone down a little. And then lift your arms, come into that chair pose. Breathe. And then lift, 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 lift. Bring the arms to the side. If you have that second block, take the second block and press the hands, long fingers. Don't hold on to the block. Long fingers, press the long fingers into the block. And again, if you don't have one, imagine that block. And then come into your chair pose. Watch those knees, look down, make sure you can see your toes. Scoop the abs in and out. And then see how it feels. Press into that block with your elbows bent. Also, if you want to try, see how it feels straight ahead. Or so parallel to the floor. Or how it feels all the way up. It's a lot of work. So press into both blocks. Breathe. And then stand up tall. Lift, 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 lift. And bring the block to the side. Put it away. Shake everything out a little bit. Okay. So now bring the hands, yes, come into the middle of the mat. Hands onto the hips. And now open up those legs for the warrior 2. Hand onto the right thigh, turn the right thigh out. And then bend your right knee. So it might be hard to imagine now that block in between the upper thighs, but imagine the block is there and you squeeze that block. So it kind of lifts you up a little bit and it really activates your muscles from the feet through the knees all the way up to the hips. And engage the abs like we did in bridge pose. Lengthen that tailbone down, lift your arms, and imagine you have that strap and you're pushing the strap away, pulling the strap away this way. Breathe here. All the muscles are working. Every little muscle that you can think of and not think of is working right now. Watch the knee. See if the knee collapses to the inside. Breathe. Lift your arms, straighten the knee. And then again, imagine that strap on your forearms. You open up against that strap. Bend the knee. Scissor those legs up. Feel the inner thighs lifting you up. Breathe. One more time. Lift your arms, straighten the knee. Drop the shoulders down. And last time, imagine the strap pulling. Open the arms. Feel the shoulders, the thighs, your feet. And then bring your hands into your hips. Straighten the front knee. Bring your right foot in. Turn your left foot out. Same thing. Left hand onto the left thigh. Bend your left knee. And again, if you feel like you're leaning forward with the upper body, bring it back, shoulder over hips. Scissor the legs up, lift your arms, push that strap away. Really activate that imagination of the block and the strap. Lift the arms, straighten the knee, drop the shoulders down. And again, block and strap. Feels kind of the hardest warrior too, right? Keep breathing, soften the shoulders, lift your arms. And the last one, bend your knee. Press into the feet, lift up as you press down and as you push out. And then straighten the front knee, bring the hands to your hips and bring your left foot in. Heel toe the way back in and shake it out. So for King Dancer, again, a couple of options, right? So you can have, maybe you still have that loop in your strap, or maybe you have a towel, or maybe you have your bed. Then put your foot into that loop. If you don't have a loop, sometimes it's if you cross the strap over your the back of your foot, that gives it a nice it's stable. So you can stay here, feel the weight of your foot pulling you down, opening up the shoulder here, and then if your knee is here, bring the knee at the same line as the other knee. And also what sometimes happens is when we do this, automatically we lean into that hip. Try to push that back into the middle. Lift it up. Lift this one up as well. If you can reach your foot with your hand, go ahead and do that. You can hold on to something like I do if you feel extra wobbly today. If not, if you feel King Dancer power, stay on your carpet, stay on your mat, and the soft surface is more of a challenge. And then if you like, lift your right arm up, push that left foot into the left hand. As you do that, keep that closed chain. Lift your left knee behind you. And use the upper body and then right arm as counterbalance. And then unlock that right knee. Yes. Breathe. Please stay here if this other version is not an option today. And then slowly, wherever you are, lower the leg down and then lower your right arm down. Same thing on the other side. Use your strap or your towel and loop it around your right foot. If you can reach your right foot with your hand, go ahead and do so. And then push that foot actively into the right hand. Stay here. If you feel like, whoa, this is really opening my knee and my hip and my shoulder, perfect. There's no need to go anywhere else. If you feel like, yeah, I want to do the King Dancer, please lift the left arm and then unlock that left knee and lift that right knee behind you. And it could be here, right? Wherever you are, if you can keep breathing, then that's good. That's a good asana. Oh yes, look at something that is not moving. Drishti, right? To anchor you, helping you to balance. Whenever you're ready, lower that right knee down, or lower the left arm down, and then bring that leg back down. Come to the front of the mat. Shake it all out a little. And lift the arms, reach up high. And then forward. Bend the knees slightly. Inhale halfway up. Exhale forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale forward. And then bring the hands onto the mat. Walk your feet back into downward facing dog. Come onto the tippy toes. Push the heels towards the floor. If your knees are bent, push them towards straight, but keep them bent. No need to touch the floor with the heels if that's not in for today. Breathe, look towards the feet, the ankles, or the knee, maybe even the belly button if you can. Come onto the tippy toes and lower down onto the knees, come into table. So there's a couple of options now, 3. So you can rest in child pose and then come back into downward dog and just do that until we are coming to the twist, right? So you can come back into child pose, you can stay here, and you can switch between child pose and table or maybe downward dog. That's one option. The second option is that you lift up your right leg and then you bring your left arm behind, bend your right knee, hold on to the foot, and lift your knee, like we just did, right? And then, of course, the third option is both at the same time. So you pick yours. You can bend your knees and then move your hands onto the hip, onto the feet, and push your feet into the hands. Open up the chest, lift your knees, and breathe here. So, I'm going with the second option now. So I lift up my left leg, my right arm, and then I bring both together behind me, lift the left knee, and open up the chest. And then slowly lower back down. And wherever you are, let's meet in child pose. Open up those knees, rest your head, and bend your elbows and put the hands on top of each other so you can relax the forearms, the elbows, and the shoulders. Breathe. And then slowly lift up. And bring your legs around. Maybe you want to sit on a blanket. No. You know what? Lie down on the back. I want you to relax the upper body. So arms face your palms are facing up, and see how that works in your shoulders, in your chest. And then bring the feet as wide as your knees. Very easy twist today. So, and then move your knees left to right, both knees in the same direction. And then if you like, keep moving. And if you like, you can also bring both knees over to one side and just let gravity help you and the weight of your legs to pull towards the earth. Feel that twist in your lower back. And if you feel like, no, this is a little too much, you can put on the one knee, you can put a blanket or a pillow or whatever maybe a bolster or 2 blocks or 2 books, and just see how that is, how that feels. You can also keep moving and just move the knees from the left to the right. And then slowly bring the knees back to the middle. And then adjust that lower back so you're fully on the lower back, like both sides are even. Then bring the knees back together and just move over to the other side. Keep both shoulders, arms on the floor. Let them anchor you down. And just the lower body is twisting to one side. And if you don't like this, just static staying down here, keep moving the knees very gently and in your choice of range of motion. Can be very small, it can be a little bit bigger. Up to you. And then slowly, if you feel like this was the same amount of time on this side that it was on the other, bring the knees back. And then just bring one knee into the chest and then the other, and just rock gently from side to side. And now do any movement that you feel like you really want to do. And I have not done it. I have forgotten it, or had these baby pose. Maybe you just want to bring one knee into the chest again, and maybe the other. Maybe you just want to do some circus. And maybe you don't want to do anything. That's cool too. Maybe you just want to set up for Shavasana. So in Shavasana, right, you want to be as comfortable as possible. So if you have a blanket and you want to use the blanket to cover yourself, please go ahead and do that. If you are roasting in your home, maybe use it just as a weighing down, or maybe underneath your head, roll it up, put it underneath your knees, and at any time you can come back to that pose that we just did by bringing the knees together and your feet as wide as the mat. So if you have the legs stretched out and you feel good here, but in 5 minutes you don't, please bend your knees. Also, another option, and I like some of you, I know some of you like that, you can put your legs up the wall. So just imagine a wall here, keep the knees bent. Please don't do that if you have eye issues or maybe high blood pressure or head injuries. So that would be a no. If you have an eye pillow, now's the time to get that. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth with a sigh. Feel the surface of the ground where it touches your body. And trust that surface. Nothing more to do. All is done. Let the thoughts come and go. And slowly move the attention towards your toes. Soften the toes. Relax the ankles. Relax the calf muscles. The back of the knees. The top of the knees. The inner thighs. Hamstrings. glutes. With your next exhale, allow your legs to become heavy. Relax your lower back, middle back, the upper back. Soften the belly. Imagine the inner organs spreading out, having a lot of space, sinking down. Relax the chest, your shoulders, your elbows, forearms, wrists, all 10 fingers. And with your next exhale, allow your arms to become heavy. Soften the back of your neck, the back of your head, the top of your head, your forehead, temples. Soften the area around your ears. Unhinge the jaw. Relax the tongue in your mouth. Soften your lips, your eyes, and the space between your eyebrows. Now slowly, without moving anything, bring your attention back to your body. Start to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your toes. Your fingers. Stretch your legs. Stretch your arms. Slowly bend one knee and then the other. Roll onto your right side and just stay there for another moment. And then slowly use your hands to push you up into a seated position. Bring your hands in front of your chest and lower the chin towards the chest. And thank yourself for coming here this morning. I thank you for coming. Namaste.